Hello everyone, happy weekend and welcome back. I have another lovely take and bake for you. This week we're going to be doing ginger molasses chocolate cookies. I'm still very much in the autumnal fall mood and I want something warming and full of spice and flavor. So here we go, let's begin. We're going to start off here with our dry ingredients. We have 1.5 cup flour, 1 tablespoon cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon baking powder, to which we're going to add our lovely little spice blend here, which is 1.25 teaspoon ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon ground cloves, and 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg. And we'll set that aside, and it's time to do our wet ingredients. But before I begin, I want to talk about the molasses here. So molasses is an ingredient that not a lot of people have on hand. It's not used super often except for a few random recipes here and there. So I was doing a bit of research online, and it sounds like if you want, you can substitute the molasses with honey, or you can even try maple syrup. Of course, it'll affect the flavor and maybe the consistency of the cookie, but I think those are your two best bets if you don't want to buy a whole bottle of molasses. Okay, dry ingredients are mixed up, and then we're moving over here to our 1 cube of room temperature butter. We're going to cream it up with the beaters. Add half a cup molasses, nice and thick and molassesy. Half a cup of brown sugar, and then a ton of ginger. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon. I put in way more because I like it really gingery, but that's up to you. You can see here I didn't do a great job incorporating all the butter, so do as I say, not as I do. Get it nice and added together. And then we will add our dry ingredients to the wet ingredients in about 2 or 3 batches, and we're going to mix that all up together. And then when it's mixed together loosely, we're going to add our 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. I'm using chips here, but of course you can use a bar that you've chopped into small pieces. Okay, and once you have a nice homogeneous ball, we're going to want to cover it in plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for at least an hour. I did mine overnight, but with how much I was manhandling that thing, I wanted to make sure the butter was nice and cold. So into the fridge it went overnight. After the hour or overnight, oven to 325, 1/4 cup sugar in a bowl, and of course our baking sheet with parchment paper or a non-stick mat. We're going to take our dough out, and we need 24 cookies out of this thing. So first step, cut it in half. That means 12 cookies per side. And then from that point, you can cut that half into half again. So then you have 4 pieces, each worth 6. And from there, you're going to cut it into 6 pieces and eventually get little balls that we're going to roll in the sugar, get them nice and coated. And I'm going to do 12 cookies here on the sheet. Lovely, separated, even sizes, coated in sugar, into the oven. I started with 12 minutes. I ended up keeping them in there for about 14, at which point they were nice and soft but baked, glistening. Look at that beautiful sugar. Looks like the night sky. So gorgeous. So thank you again for joining me for another take and bake. These are some of my favorites that I've made recently. The contrast between the sweet chocolate and the biting, sharp, zesty ginger was really a wonderful pairing, and I hope you all enjoy making this. Let me know what you think, and I'll be back next month for another round. Thank you all so much. Happy baking.